Okay, hi everyone. I just thought that I would jump on, take a quick break from the current league that I've been doing to bring you guys something a little bit different. So this is actually Reid Duke's list for Bogles Lurrus on the subscription service of Channel Fireball. So it's not available to the general public yet, or at least it wasn't yesterday when I received the list. I did get it sent to me by a friend of mine, TJ, and big thank you to him. Also, he pointed out that Glorybringer can't actually target me with its exert. So in that Ponza match a few leagues ago, I wasn't just dead, but I was pretty dead. Yep, so that's where that is. So this is his list, and it's a little bit different. So he's only running 19 lands, and he's running 4 Keen Sense. So the reason why I think he's on Keen Sense is because he's packing the Rest in Peace in the sideboard. So the synergy there is there's going to be other Lurrus decks running around. Their graveyard's going to be exiled. Your graveyard's going to be exiled. So neither of you will be able to make use of Lurrus, but your engine will be the Keen Sense. That's my interpretation of it. But I could be slightly off. You never know. So on top of that, he's got the 2 Cartouche for Solidarity, 4 Ethereal Armor, 4 Griffsburn. So I've been playing 3 to 4 Griffsburn for a while, so it's good to see that he's got that considered in that slot there. The 4 Hyena Umbra, 4 Rancor, no Spider Umbra, which I think is fair if you're playing Keen Sense. I don't think you really need it at the moment. There's not that much destruction happening. 2 All That Glitters, good to see that back in the list. I do think that's the better 2-drop than Spirit Mantle at the moment, so happy to see that there. The 4 Daybreak Coronet and your 12 Creatures. So in the sideboard, his was a little bit different to what mine is. He was running 4 Path 4 Rest in Peace and 0 Force of Vigor. I've chucked Force of Vigor in there because if I come up against Eldrazi Tron, I want to actually have a match, you know? So yeah, other than that, the 2 Gadok Teeg, the 1 Lurrus, and the 4 Leyline. So we're going to go ahead and run this deck into a league. And we're going to see how it goes. I must say, I do like the Rest in Peace and the Keen Sense call. I think they're both pretty solid calls. And yeah, I'm pretty excited to test it and test how powerful it's going to be. But yeah, we'll just see how all of that goes. Alright, so it looks like we're in for round 1. I'm seeing a lot of the Hardened Scales combo deck running around at the moment. Alright, so we won the die roll. We're against a Metabo, and they've got a nice, pretty Merfolk avatar. We'll see what they're running. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and keep this hand. This is perfectly good. Oh, they're in Garuda, so that's the deck that just tries to combo off a little bit. Yep, list looks good against that. I think we can be quick enough with the Core Spirit Dancer. So it looks like my opponent's mulling into 6. They've started with a Gemstone Caverns in play though, which could be quite good for them. We will see. So Rest in Peace, turn 1 Farseek? Yeah, no worries. So Rest in Peace is really good against this deck because it's a replacement effect and it stops the cards that Garuda dumps into the graveyard from ever hitting the graveyard. They never touch the graveyard, they just go straight to exile. So they'll never get the triggered ability and they won't be able to mill their own deck out. Alright, he's got this Tribe Elder there. We have got flying though, which is going to be very, very handy here. I'm going to lead on the Griffspoon, and then I'm going to look to cast the Hyena afterwards, and we'll see if we draw something of value. Very likely we just kill our opponent next turn. Alright, we got the Razorverge Thicket as well. Opponent's sacked in response here. Draw another land. Alright, let's play out our last Hyena Umbra here, get the last of our damage down that we can for this turn. And we'll attack for 9. Alright, so opponent's got access to 4 mana. He needs to get all the way up to 6 before dying. I don't think he can do it. I think we just get the attack here. Alright, so he's just conceded. Yep. Okie dokie, so these Rest in Peace are going to be really good. Other than that, I don't think we really need Leyline. Path might be okay, but I don't think so. As far as cards to take out, Cartouche of Solidarity seems a little bit weak, as does Spirit Link, and I think I'm happy with the Keen Sense and the All That Glitters. Pretty straightforward sideboarding, I think. Alright, so once again we've got our core Spirit Dancer here, so this is going to be really good. We've also got our Grist Spoon for flying and Rancor for trample, so we've got lots of ways to push damage through here. See how fast my opponent's clock is. Alright, so we're going to start off by getting a Temple Garden, and we'll go straight into Glade Cover Scout here. Alright, a Charming Prince has been cast. That's an interesting one. Is he going to do Scry 2, I assume? Yeah, so he's using Charming Prince for the Scry effect. Gotcha. Alright, we don't need to worry about the other modes on that card. Now, we do have to be a little bit careful here, because our opponent might have brought in some creature, like some Path to Exiles. He is sporting the white. I think we just want to attack for 2 this turn in the air, get our free draw, and then look to cast Core Spirit Dancer plus another Aura next turn. Alright, excellent. Well, we just draw our Hate Piece. So we'll need to choose a point to cast that. I don't think our opponent's that close to coming off, so I think we can leave it in hand for now. Yeah, he's got access to 4 mana here. He'll be up to 5 next turn. I think the land that taps for 2 comes... I think the land that taps for 2 on creatures comes in tapped, if I'm not wrong. It's just way safer to cast Rest in Peace now. Alright, we're going to go ahead and cast Rest in Peace. And then because we're not going to have lethal this turn... wait, let's do a bit of math quickly. We can attack for 4 and put him to 14, or we can put him to 16. And the difference is draw 1 or draw 2. I think having him on the lower life total would probably be relevant, but we haven't got many auras in hand. We've got 2 creatures. I'm going to value the card draw here. Alright, so we got a Hyena Umbra and another Rancor. That gives us an attack for 7 next turn, without drawing anything different. There's the Farseek. Alright, he's attacking for 2. Not going to do anything about that. Alright, let's just play double Rancor and Hyena Umbra. And technically it's a 3-turn clock here, but I'm sure in the 2 cards we're going to draw plus our draw step, we'll draw at least 1 aura or 2 auras and to push through the extra damage. Alright, well there's a Hyena Umbra. I think we need to cast it now. If we wait till next turn, we can get the Core Spirit Dancer draw trigger as well. Just straight kill him, potentially. Alright, opponents cast this card. Rest in Peace will stop its trigger. Then we'll just be able to go for the kill next turn. Wait, it didn't stop its trigger? Excuse me? I'm quite surprised. Maybe that was a bug and my opponent in an earlier league was on the money. Alright, looks like they've failed to go off now. They might still go off on this triggered ability. Another Restoration Angel. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know why that's going off, because this is a replacement effect and it never enters the graveyard. It says, put a creature card. When it enters the battlefield, each player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard. Yeah, okay. Well, we've been got, I'm pretty sure. It's interesting, this is running a lot of white that I haven't seen in the earlier lists. I think they might have evolved the list a little bit. At this stage our opponent's going to mill us out because we both get hit here. I really don't think that should be working through Rest in Peace, but maybe there's a judge text that I'm not aware of. This makes me want Path to Exile a lot more than I want Rest in Peace right now. Okay, we can attack and win potentially. We've only got 1 card left in our library, so we're going to have to turn off auto yields and say no to these Keen Senses. We can't recast anything from our graveyard. He's got 8 toughness. I think we're just dead. So I can cast an extra creature on top of my auras here. But yeah, just don't have enough cards left in my library to actually win this one. Alright, so we might as well just kill the larger angel first. We'll take 6. It'll trigger our totem armor. Alright, well looks like we've lost this game. If he gets another trigger going, we'll just be milled out. We do have game 3 to come back into it though. Alright, so we lose this game. see how we go game 3. Definitely bringing in these Path to Exiles now, since Rest in Peace seems to be doing nothing. Go on that. Alright, being on the play is definitely going to help as well. Hopefully we get a Core Spirit Dancer hand. They're a lot faster. Short failed that. Ethereal Armor is pretty good. We do have the Path. We do have a draw effect. I'm going to keep. It's not enormous on the power level scale, but it'll do. Opponent's mulligan to 6. Mulligan to 5. We did see Gemstone Caverns in their deck, so they can go off a turn earlier or get a land down a turn earlier. Like in game 1, which is when they did a turn 1 Farseek, which is pretty disgusting. I think maybe we won the die roll game 1. Yeah, we did. Otherwise that interaction wouldn't work. Alright, so we're going to go ahead, crack, shock. Get Scout out there. Hopefully we draw into some more power auras with this Keen Sense. It's a Charming Prince. He's chosen the Scry effect, which seems wise, particularly on such a creature light hand, or card light hand. Griffspoon, excellent. Alright, so we can guarantee some damage here, and I think our guaranteed card draw is better than the 1 extra damage from the Ethereal Armor here. Okie dokie. What do we draw? Dried Arbor, that's a pretty bad draw. Here comes Steve. Second Ethereal Armor. Now that's what I'm talking about. I'm going to hold off on playing a third land here, sorry. I could draw another white source and be able to hold up Path to Exile. This should be a really quick clock now though. Yeah, attacking for 10. Excellent. Alright, we do get the Coronet for next turn. We don't currently have mana for both Path and Coronet next turn, but we should just have lethal here. Unless they put forward a flying blocker. Restoration Angel we saw last game. Alright, that's a Charming Prince. The life gain's not going to be enough. I think it's the mode he's got to choose though. He's just got to assume we're drawn blank. Another Steve. Alright. Cool. So we just get to attack for the win here. Ethereal Armor. That's a card 2. He's got 0 cards in hand, so there's no risk to me doing this. Alright. Cool. So we get the game 1. Using a Reid Duke's Boggle list. So far, I'm liking the card draw from Keen Sense and the interaction with Griffspoon. It's come into play a couple of times already. Alright. So we lost the die roll this time. Our opponent also has Lurrus. The most common one I've seen is the Hardened Scales list. We'll see if that's what we are versing. Griffspoon is going to be a little bit weak in value against that deck, but Core Spirit Dancer hand's really, really good. Yeah, this does look like Hardened Scales. Ancient Stirrings, yeah. So against this deck, we probably want to go in on Core Spirit Dancer, and we want to be looking to find Trample as soon as we can. So I'm going to value card draw quite a lot here. I'm going to lead on Temple Garden. I might want to conserve my life total a little bit. Alright, turn 2 Metallic Mimic, no Hardened Scales on turn 1. That's a pretty tame turn for my opponent's deck. Does cast the 0 mana Hangerback Walker though. Another one. Alright, well this is way less tame. Casting into Core Spirit Dancer here will be risky. Okay, great. We drew Daybreak Coronet. That's going to be a big help. But casting the Core Spirit Dancer there would have been risky because he can just pump up his Walking Ballista and shoot it down before we cast an aura on it. So what I'm going to do is go Keen Sense plus Griffspoon. And we're going to attack for 2 in the air. Get 1 card draw. And then look to play 2 auras or next turn. Keen Sense plus Coronet or Griffspoon plus Coronet. I have a feeling with the way he just dropped them all there. No. Surely if he had Steel Overseer, he would have played that turn 2 instead of Metallic Mimic. The way he's dropped them... Oh, really? Okay, yeah, no, I should have seen that coming. Okay, so he shot his own Hangerback Walker with Walking Ballista to blow us up pretty hard there. We can still recover with Core Spirit Dancer, though. Game's not over. Dang. I guess play those 2 auras and don't attack. Animation module. So here I want to see land so I can get some toughness happening on core. That's fine. Animation module. That's the one he has to pay mana for. That's good. Excellent, excellent. Alright, so still conscious of my life total here. Just going to fetch a basic plains. Now I'm just going to drop the Griffspoon down. So now we're going to go up to 4 toughness. We do draw the forest for Keen Sense next turn, so that's nice. If we can find Trample here, we'll be in a really good spot to win in 2 turns, 2 attacks. Walking Ballista on 1. Gets a 2nd token from the Metallic Mimic. 0 cards in hand from my opponent. Alright, our life total's gotten quite low. We're down to 9, but we do have the Coronet to start gaining life back. I will just lead on the Daybreak Coronet here. Totem Arm is sort of irrelevant. Maybe I should have led on Hyena Umbra. I don't know. That's a tough one. We are going to be attacking for a bunch here, though. Still no Trample. It's going to be extremely difficult for my opponent to destroy Core Spirit Dancer though. I think she's here to stay. Now I should have chosen the Hyena Umbra as to cast before the Keen Sense, because if I drew Rancor, I'd value the Totem Armor more than the card draw off the Keen Sense, because they could draw into something like Assassin's Trophy or Abrupt Decay. I don't think they're main decking it, but you never know people's individual choices. Alright. What do we get here? No Rancor yet. We're all the way back up to 22. I don't think he's killing us on damage. He can cast Lurrus now and start returning stuff from the graveyard. Instead of doing that, he chooses to cycle. Interesting. Alright, so his best interaction here is Walking Ballista to ping his own Hangerback Walker, then get the flying Thopter token, and he's got one block off of that. Okay, so we want to play the auras that give us the most card draw, so we have the highest chance to play get trampled down. We don't draw it yet. Just going to cast Daybreak Coronet here. We can't cast Core plus an aura, so no real point there. Cartouche is an aura we can't cast this turn. So it looks like my opponent's going to live to see another day. But he's going to be running pretty short on resources for next turn. They could make the choice to use the second Walking Ballista activation to stop us from gaining life here. But I think they want to keep hold of it for now. I think Walking Ballista is pretty important here. Okay, he does actually fog the damage. His board state's so minuscule now though. I don't think that's the right move. He's in a bad spot, but I don't think that's right. I'm not super familiar with the Hardened Scales list, but alright, so we are versing a Lurrus deck, so that's why we've got these Rest in Peace. We've also got access to Path to Exile, which will be good here, and Force of Vigor, so that's a lot of different cards. We might not want all of them. Spirit Link, I think, will be a little bit weak because it's not Burn that we're versing, right? I do like the Cartouche of Solidarity, but they're pretty weak to just one bolt effect. Although they are just a 1 mana aura to cast. It's quite mana efficient. Opponent might bring in some stuff to deal with Core Spirit Dancer, so I might shave on one. Other than that, Keen Sense might be a little bit weak as well here. Griffburn loses a bit of value. This is pretty rough. I'm running out of spots to trim from. Another Keen Sense, and no, we'll leave the Keen Sense in. We'll get rid of these Cartouche. Alright, so we did make a bit of a misplay that first game. This is a really nice hand. I'm going to keep it. We don't necessarily want to cast this Force of Vigor because it will turn off our Trample. Or potential to cast for Trample. But we'll base it on what our opponent's turn is. Like if he plays a second Hardened Scales, it's going to be pretty worth to blow both of them up in response to him casting a creature for 0 mana. Right, we do draw a land. It's not quite the land we're looking for, but it is actually a land that we can pitch to Force of Vigor here, and I will be doing that over pitching the Rancor. Dryder Arbor's secret mode of gets pitched to Forces Vigor. Alright, what's he doing here? Metallic Mimic's okay. So now I'm guessing he's going to look to play some 0 mana spells. Alright, so this is where we cast this. We get rid of his Metallic Mimic and his Hardened Scales. And then Walking Ballista comes in on 0 and just dies to state-based effects. Nice clean 3 for 2. Alright. Let's get this Rancor out there. Next turn we can cast Ethereal Armor, and hopefully we draw a land to cast Hyena Umbra as well. I think this Scout's just going to stay in hand for a little bit. Maybe we draw a second Force of Vigor. Alright, we do draw land, so we can get really aggressive here with the attack. It'll be an attack for 7, I'm pretty sure. So the opponent does have the choice to block this here to move the Arcbound Workers token over onto the Hangerback Walker. Doesn't choose to go for it. They can look to cast Lurrus into Hardened Scales here. They are taking damage to do this also. Yep, and now if they've got an X creature in their hand, they can play it. Doesn't look like they have the X creature. We do draw a Core Spirit Dancer. I think we just... we want to force him to block with the Lurrus. So we have to cast this other Hyena Umbra and attack. And he has to block with his entire board state here. And he'll be left with 1 Thopter token. Just be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Looks like my opponent's still in the think tank here. Alright, so it doesn't really matter which way we stack the damage. Alright, and they go to 0. Gotcha. Okay, nice, quick, easy victory there. So that is 2-0. And going on to game 3 here. Yeah. So far the list feels pretty nice. I am liking Keen Sense. I am not missing my 2 Spider Umbra, and yeah, we'll see how it does for the rest of the league. I might adapt my list a little bit because Reid's put up a very, very solid list here. Alright. Looks like we won the die roll, which is very, very nice. Opponent doesn't have a companion. Yeah, we can keep this. This hand looks pretty solid. So one of the companion decks running around, or one of the companion list decks running around, is Tron at the moment. I don't really think they deserve an extra card in their starting hand, but yeah, I mean they basically have it if they play Khan anyway, right? The great creator. That gives a lot of free value from the sideboard. Alright, so it's Neoform we're versing. We're probably just going to lose game 1 and games 2 and 3 as well. We'll see what happens. I don't really have anything in Reid's sideboard list for him other than Gadok Teague, which switches off Nourishing Shell. I guess Path has some applicability. Normally I do run some Graft Digger's Cages, so it's not such a scary deck. So hopefully my opponent's got the turn 3 combo, not the turn 2 combo here. Because if I can cast 3 auras onto Core Spirit Dancer, I can attack for like 9 or 10, and then he'll only get 1 draw off the Gristlebrand. We'll of course lead on Ethereal Armor. It's the most mana efficient powerful aura in our deck. Draw Scout, so that's our second creature we've drawn this turn. We'll go for the card that puts damage on the board, and then we'll reassess, see if we need to cast Keen Sense. No. So we'll cast Ethereal Armor, that's an extra damage again. And that'll be an attack for 12, I think. Alright, we draw another one for next turn. Attack for 11. That's still pretty good. He'll only get 1 draw activation off a Gristlebrand here. The highest damage we could have possibly attacked for then was 15 off triple Ethereal Armor. Which would have given him 0 draw activations. Alright, looks like he's cycled the Waterlogged Grove. He's looking for something. I think we might just have him game 1. Alright. So far so good. And Path's not very good here, but it's something. All That Glitters is just going to be way too expensive. Cartouche is pretty pointless. And Spirit Link is pretty pointless. Actually, maybe auras that deal damage are just better than these Keen Sense, right? So we want the Cartouche still. But we probably want the Keen Sense because it's more mana efficient than the All That Glitters. Maybe not. I guess Keen Sense can help draw us to our sideboard hate. And we are only running 19 lands, so having some number of Keen Sense in there to help us draw into our land drops is also relevant. Alright, well, we can't keep this. Hopefully we see Gadok Teague and can just cast that on turn 2. Follow it up with some auras on turn 3 and race a Gristlebrand. So yep, mulliganing. Alright, this'll do. We'll keep this. We'll bottom Forest. Yikes, is he going off turn 1? Or Metamorphose, probably. Yep, okay. Alright, he's going for a turn 1. Alright, I have a feeling we are super dead here. Yeah. Alright, that's pretty much game. We'll let him do his thing though. Should probably update the deck list a little bit. And oh wow, did he draw to 0? I assume he's got his everything he needs though. Shami's just cycling through his hand to actually find the card he needs to find. Alright, looks like opponent got there that game. And the deck list should be updated now, in case you want to have a look at it. But you can sort of half see it while I'm sideboarding. Alright, yes, we'd like to play. Hard mull. Don't really like this one either. Opponent also mulligan to 6, although we're going down to 5. Alright, so this has got the Gadok Teague, so we'll keep it. And I think we bottom Teague and Scout. Keep the Grispoon, look to draw a Daybreak Coronet or something. Hopefully we high roll it that way. Oh wait a minute. We can keep the Boggle too actually. Alright, so we'll get rid of Teague and land. Thought we were a card shorter for some reason. We do unfortunately need to fetch straight away, reshuffle those cards, we don't have an option. Wrong creature, alright, there we go. So here, if we cast Gadok Teague and he just puts like a Gristlebrand on the board, then that's pretty nice. We will thin the deck. Then he is susceptible to Path to Exile if he just starts beatdown with Gristlebrand, which isn't a bad place to have our opponent, not considering we mulled down to 5. Alright, so we'll cycle this Horizon Canopy, see what we draw. That's a good draw. I'm going to wait until next turn to cast the Grifspoon so we see an extra card. That way I can put it on Core Spirit Dancer too, which will be a quicker clock. I discarded a Neoform. Alright, so we'll cast a Core Spirit Dancer here. We'll go ahead and put Totem Armor on Core. We'll get our draws from that. Attack for 3 again, and next turn we can attack for a lot more. So we're going to see at least 3 new cards next turn. Which will be the Core Spirit Dancer attacking for at least 9. Unless we draw something like another aura. So yeah, pretty fortunate to get a win against Neobrand if we do get there. Because it's a pretty rough matchup. We don't really interact very much. We don't splash that many cards in the sideboard for them. Alright, looks like they're going for a Summoner's Pact here. Interesting because they can't cast Nourishing Shoal, so I'd need to sacrifice my Gadok Tig. Is my opponent just conceding the game pretty much, or is he actually doing something? Alright, so he cycled that and he's ended the match. Alright, cool. So Gadok Tig was really good, got us there. And now we're at a healthy 3-0 in the league using Reid Duke's list. I am enjoying the list. I am also going to take a short break because I'm going to go eat my dinner and I'm going to come back in about 15 minutes and conclude the league. So if you want to stick around, feel free to. Okay, so the Y Principal guy we just beat has 3 undefeated trophies at the moment with Neoform. Not hugely surprising because that's a pretty strong deck. Yeah, they definitely bring in the artifact hate though, so having access to Gadok Tig, which is non-artifact based hate for them, is pretty nice. Right, so here we are back for the 4th round. Just waiting for our opponent to connect. Alright, here we are. We're on the die roll again. Excellent. This is going very well. I wonder if I've versed this person before. The name seems half familiar. He's another Lurrus player. Alright, well this hand's looking pretty sweet, so we're going to keep this. It's not the fastest hand, but we do have a lot of powerful cards in there at the moment. Okie dokie, just waiting for our opponent to respond. Busy doing whatever he's doing. Alright, looks like we're against a burn player. Alright, so obviously we're not blocking. We drew a windswept teeth off of that then. So what we're going to do is we're going to crack this windswept teeth. We're going to get our second plains. We're going to use that plains to cast this All That Glitters, and we're going to attack for 2. Next turn we've got Daybreak Coronet plus Cartouche, and we can attack for 3, 6, 7, attack for 8 next turn, gain 8 life. Is this an Eidolon? Alright. Well, we don't really care about that Eidolon because we're just going to gain way more life than the damage that's going to deal to us. Alright, and he's not holding up a Skullcrack or anything, so attacking in for some nice damage there. Alright, so that went quite well. So post board, we're going to want these Leyline of Sanctities, and we're going to want the Force of Vigors for Eidolon of the Great Revel. I think we can lose at least 2 Keen Sense here. At least 2 Core Spirit Dancer. And I'm going to have to do a bit of looking on the last card. Alright, the Spirit Link is going to be really good against them. If we can cast that on an Eidolon, we'll be in a really good place. I don't really want to remove these 2 last Keen Sense because that will take my green count too low. So if I can avoid it. Yeah, currently on 16. Maybe it's okay. Yeah, we'll keep it at 14. Alright, let's just do that. The fact that, like, one of the green cards we need is our Glade Cover Scout. Alright, so this hand doesn't have Daybreak Coronet, it doesn't have 2 mana, and it doesn't have Leyline of Sanctity, so we can't keep this hand. We're going to get rid of it. This hand is exactly the same as our last one, so we're going to get rid of that too. Alright, this one's a keep. Bottom Core Spirit Dancer, bottom Griff Spoon, and hope to draw a second white source. Alright, opponent didn't even want to verse the Leyline of Sanctity hand, so I guess he just kept all burn spells. So, Mull to Leyline is strong against burn at the moment, I hear. I guess he had burn spells and he didn't have Eidolon. It's alright. Good for us. Alright, so currently 4-0 with Reid's list. I really like it so far. I might continue to play it once this test video is done. Might actually put a hiatus on my own list. Might adjust the sideboard a little bit, maybe 2 cards in the main deck, but it's a really, really strong list. This hand is garbage. We could get a 3/3 Dryad Arbor, which would draw us a card a turn, and no. Alright, this hand has no creature. This is awful as well. Alright, so we pretty much have to keep this. And at this stage, we need to bottom 3 cards. So I'm going to get rid of Daybreak Coronet, at least 1 Cartouche. Yeah, I might just get rid of both Cartouche. We'll just look to have Core Spirit Dancer get us there. Is this a Humans deck? Okay, this is... We're in a really awful spot here because they have Reflector Mage, which just bounces Core Spirit Dancer. I've led on the wrong land there. I should have led on the Misty Rainforest. Alright, so this is going to take either Gristburn or Spirit Link. I'm guessing it's taking Gristburn. I don't think it can take our creature. No, it can't. No point slow rolling this Core Spirit Dancer. We might as well cast her now. Hopefully she sticks to the board. Opponent's hand is pretty slow as far as a Humans deck is concerned. No 1 mana, no Ether Vial, just a turn 2 Kite Sail. So I'm guessing all his cards are, 3 converted mana cost or higher. Maybe he's got a Meddling Mage here, a second Kite Sail. Well, that's going to be pretty good. They don't even put them to our graveyard, so we can't get them back with Lurrus. Pretty frustrating. Hopefully we draw an aura here and we can start doing something relevant. Okay, we don't draw an aura. I'm just going to go ahead and cast Lurrus. Maybe we can get some attacks in on the ground with Lurrus, because lifelink, Now if they Reflector Mage, they can only bounce one of our creatures, not both of them as well. Charming Prince. Alright, so I'm guessing that's just going to scry and draw him some more. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, he doesn't want to exile these guys. I mean, he might exile like the one with the Spirit Link and then maybe get a Daybreak Coronet or something, but even then, does he want to take the Daybreak Coronet? Because I can't cast it at the moment. Alright, we do draw an aura. We're going to put it on Core Spirit Dancer. I really want to end this game as quick as I possibly can. We draw a second aura. I'm going to put this one on Lurrus so I can attack with both of them. And this will give me the lifelink as well. Alright, so... Nice attack for 7 here. Pretty good answer to what our opponent's been doing. They are stuck on 2 mana also. We'll just play out our hand. I'm guessing a Reflector Mage is going to happen here. They pretty much have to cast it on Core Spirit Dancer if they've got it. Alright, Champion. That's nothing card. Phantasmal Image. Copy the Charming Prince and look to scry another 2. He might just look to copy Lurrus even. Yeah, okay, so he's copied Lurrus. Might as well get Dryad Arbor here. Alright, we did draw the Rancor. That's going straight down on Core Spirit Dancer. We'll see what else we can draw into. So that's a Keen Sense. I might tap the Dryad Arbor for this one. We draw another Core Spirit Dancer. Let's attack and see if we draw anything else. We're attacking for 13 here. No point attacking with the wider creatures. It will just gain life with Lurrus. Alright. We do draw the Ethereal Armor. I'm going to go ahead and play our second Core Spirit Dancer here, and then we can hold up Ethereal Armor for next turn. It's better against a Reflector Mage, slightly worse against like a Deputy of Detention or something, but if they cast that, we just go all in on Lurrus. Alright, there is the Reflector Mage, so that's probably going to take our big Core Spirit Dancer. Rancor's going to bounce back to hand. We'll just go in on our other Core Spirit Dancer here. That'll be fine. And we can also cast an Aura from our graveyard too. Okay, so we got Flying now. We'll put Trample down next. Alright, so now at Flying, we can just go over the top and kill. Alright, cool. So taking game 1 against humans is pretty impressive. It's normally a very difficult matchup. We do want the Path to Exiles. We might want Force of Vigor just to take out these Ether Vials of our opponents, because his deck is a fair bit faster than ours. Core Spirit Dancer is pretty bad. It gets hit by a lot. Spirit Link is probably good. Might just be a Keen Sense after that. Yeah, I feel like we can remove a lot of their tempo if we get an Ether Vial. Is it worth bringing in though? Because what am I taking out? Cartouche or all that glitters? Yeah, I think it's probably worth... I think it's probably worth it. Alright, so if we keep this hand, it's really weak to Thalia. That being said, I think it's a very strong hand, so I'm going to keep it anyway. Alright, he has got the turn 1 Ether Vial. Hopefully, we do draw our land, so that's pretty nice. I'll just go ahead and crack this one. Go the land route that conserves us the most life total long run. Alright, so it looks like he's got Thalia or Thalia's Lieutenant here. Alright, so it's big annoying Thalia. We do draw another land, so that's very, very fortunate for us. It does mean that we can potentially cast Daybreak Coroner next turn if we want to. We do have 2 in hand, so might not be the worst thing. It's still a little weak to Deputy of Detention though. So yeah, playing Rancor there is better against Night of Autumn, maybe worse against Deputy of Detention, and also maybe worse if we draw a Force of Vigor. I think I'm still happy having it on the board though. So we're taking a lot of damage here. What's that? 8? plus Athalia's Lieutenant, so 11. We can cast, well, we pretty much have to cast this Daybreak this turn, gain some life back, and hope that he doesn't remove this Rancor and make our Daybreak fall off. Got a very fragile life total. He didn't take his Vial up to 3, which is interesting. So this is annoying. He's representing like a Phantasmal Image or another Thalia's Lieutenant. But we are forced into blocking. We don't have a choice. We don't block, we're just dead. Alright, so there's the effect. Kite Sail Freebooter is going to be enough to clench it. I don't even want him to see my hand there. I don't want him having extra information. Those were stock cards in my hand, but... Alright, on the play, I think I like Cartouche more. I think on the draw, Force is fine. Maybe I'll remove another Keen Sense for a 3rd Core Spirit Dancer. If that goes through in time. Did it go through in time? It did. Okay. I don't really like this. 4/4 with no other uptick and no Horizon Canopies to cycle. I don't really think that's good enough. Oh god, this is awful. Alright, down to 5. Are you kidding me? Alright, well this is gonna have to do. This is so weak though. Get rid of Hyena Umbra as well. This is absurdly weak. Yeah, I guess I just shouldn't have got greedy on the 7 in this scenario. Opponent has a turn 1 Ether Vial again. It's going to make things even trickier. Alright, sweet. Turn 2 Scout is much better than me going in on Dryad Arbor here. I'll add the Ethereal Armor down. You do have to be a little bit... I put a little bit of thought into what you put down there because they could Kite Sail Freebooter this turn. I think I want the first strike more than I want the flying. Meddling Mage. So normally they just blind name Daybreak Coronet here. They could name Path to Exile. Or Rancor or something. Alright, he's named Ethereal Armor, which is weird because we've already put one down, so mathematically that doesn't quite seem right to me. We'll go ahead and cast Grispoon. Does that mean our opponent doesn't have Deputy of Detention in his sideboard as well, if he's not looking to 2-for-1 the Ethereal Armors? Maybe. Alright, that's a Thalia. We're still ahead in the race, though. Oh, is it a lieutenant now? Okay. That evens things up a little bit for our opponent. So we can attack for 6 here and put our opponent 1 attack off dead. I think that's worth going for. Let's put him down to 7. Any aura will be good. Maybe if we draw another land, we can path a creature they leave back to block Dryad Arbor and then attack for lethal. It's possible he has Deputy but isn't playing it for because he's not holding it. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible he just... I don't know. Normally with Meddling Mage they name Daybreak Coronet, just blind. But yeah, it's possible. I think it's more possible he's got Night of Autumn as the hate piece here instead. Okay, pretty aggressive attack here it looks like from my opponent. So he just got me for lethal here, so 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Holy cow. Well, I think he puts us to 1. Alright, and then we just kill him. I don't think he countered, right? Okay, wait, no, he's got these flying creatures with haste, right? Alright, so it looks like we just lose here. We can't cast the Path to Exile either. I guess our only line was draw Trample. Alright, we'll attack with both and hope he doesn't block. Alright, well that's a little bit irritating. I think we had to go for it when we did. But didn't quite get us there. Alright, still 4-1 with his list is really, really nice. I'm quite happy with that. I'm just going to jump in and do another league now, I reckon. Do I want to change anything from